Okay, today's lesson is about reader's response. We have been doing these in writing. It's a new way of writing. It's different than how we've been writing in the past. It's not telling a story. It's not answering an expository prompt. It's reading a passage that's either science or social studies or fiction, and then taking that in, thinking about it, really absorbing what's happening, and answering a question. When you answer that question, you have to use your own reasoning and cite some evidence. So this is just kind of a brief overview of some things we've talked about this year and a reminder of some things that we may have forgotten. When we respond in writing to reading and our learning, our main focus should be to answer the question. We have to be on topic and answer that question. To give our own reasoning, we can use terms like I think, I conclude, I confer, I infer, all of those things. What do you think? That's what the author of these tests want to know. What do you think about what you just read? Can you explain it in your own words? And finally, we need to give we need to support our reasoning with my favorite word, evidence. You need to pull pieces from the article, from our learning in class, from things that you know, and cite that. And use those evidence-based terms that we know. Like because, for example, the author said, because, for example, the author said, all of those words that we've talked about, those evidence-based terms, in the passage from the reading I know. Now you can either pull a specific piece, put it in quotation marks, and use the author's exact words, and then give your rationale later. Or you can say according to the author and just paraphrase what the author said. Make sure you know the difference. If you're paraphrasing, you're using your own words and the author's idea, and you're giving the author credit. If you're quoting and you're using quotation marks, you're taking exactly what the author said from the book, putting in quotation marks. Should we take a whole paragraph and put it in quotation marks and I'm done? No. Make sure you go back and you only pull little pieces, tiny snippets of what the author said to support your own reasoning. Now, our reader's response checklist. Every time we write a reader's response, we need to look for these things. Did you restate the question in your own words? Did you cite evidence from the text? Did you explain how the evidence supports your reasoning? Did you give your interpretation or opinion? Did you use academic language, words that we have on the word wall, words that sound very mature and adult, grown-up language, academic language, things we use in class? Did you check for 3? Did you check to make sure you had capitals, punctuations, and complete sentences? Did you check your spelling? Please do it 2 or 3 times. Make sure you check that spelling. And does it feel finished? If your piece doesn't feel finished, if it doesn't feel like you came to a point, no one's going to take that too validly. They're going to think, maybe they had an idea about what might have been happening, but I'm not quite sure of everything that they were thinking. So you want to make sure that your piece feels finished when you write it. Finally, one of the most important things about reader's responses is reading the prompt. It does not matter how long you take to write and how hard you try to write. If you don't read the prompt carefully, you're not going to write about the right thing. So when you read a prompt, look for the question they are asking you to answer. Often it's in the form of a statement. It ends with a period, even though they're telling you to do something. Some examples of that are to tell how you feel about, explain the author's point of view. All of those things that we've heard before, they don't always end with a question mark, but they're giving you a demand, they're giving you a task to do. That's the part you want to pay attention to and make sure that you restate that question, even if it ends in a period. Because, like I said before, if you rush through reading the prompt, it will not matter how much time you spend writing because you are off topic. And 5th graders know not to be off topic. Next time we'll go over our planning map.